Hey everyone, how are you this evening? Hope everybody is doing really well. Um, I have a laptop on the side of me because I know that today I had posted on the Facebook, what topics do you want me to cover? And several of you guys had some topics, and some of you guys really just needed help with certain items. So I want to try to cover everything that you guys have put on the post, because like I said, I always like to help people and make sure that they're all straight. So I am going to, if you give me 1 minute, I'm going to look at the post because I want to make sure that I cover everything that I had said when I asked the question, hey guys, what do you guys want to talk about today? There it is. Okay. I got like 13 answers. Okay. So I am going to expand this because I want to make sure that I cover everything as much as I possibly can. I also do, someone had posted something also, I think it was Cheryl. She put down crafting burnout. And I think that is a really, really good topic. And I want to start with that first because it's something that, is really serious. And I was watching another YouTuber, and the impression that I got was, she was feeling a little down. And, crafting burnout is something that's real. It is something that's real. A lot of people go through it. I just want to talk about it a little bit. Sometimes when you see people, they do these videos on YouTube and stuff like that, you see them smiling, everything comes out perfect, no mistakes. But sometimes there's it's not that they don't want to be honest, but it's just that, a lot of people don't talk about the dark side of things, because sometimes, let's be honest, a lot of people don't want to just put certain things out there, right? Me personally, I guess I'm a little different. I'm older, I'm not a young chicken. And the way I look at it is I ain't got nothing to lose. And I kind of look at it as, any little thing, good or bad, I don't mind putting it out there because I feel that it can help somebody out there. All right. I think when it comes to crafting blues or crafting burnout, it is real. It is real. You get into the sewing, you get into the embroidering, you love it, you have a great time, and you feel really good, right? You're making stuff for yourself, you're making stuff for your friends, that people really seem to like it. People are very, very supportive. And then what happens is, you sometimes want to take it to the next level, right? So you want to start your own business. Now, to me, this is the part where I know for me personally, it became a little bit of I wouldn't really call it a burnout. For me, it was more stressful level. Okay. When I first started sewing, it was something that I just wanted to do as a hobby. It wasn't really a business thing for me. My son was older, right? My son turns 21 this year. And, for those that are young, that have young children, I'll tell you right now, hug them and kiss them every night, because those little young babies are going to turn into young adults, and they're going to be adults, and the little cuddling and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't stop, but it's different. It's different because you're talking about a grown adult. So, it's at the point where, my son was in high school, and, I just, he's got his friends, his own little life and everything. And, I had my career, but I wanted something, right? So I started to sew. Okay. So I bought a sewing machine for $185. I really liked it. Then I went and I got the SC 1900, which was $1,000. And then, it just gradually turned into something that I was kind of like, I really like this. This is really something that I could see myself doing, because I am close to retirement. I should be retiring in 4 years. And, it's some, I don't want to be one of those employees that, leave the office and then, oh, I retired. And then next week on Monday, you see me back. I want to be gone. Okay. I'm done with what I do. So, I started it, now it's a business, right? So to me, it becomes more of a stress point, because what happens is you start to invest money in your business, right? You start getting bigger machines, you start buying more stabilizer, more thread, more products, you start advertising your shop, you start creating a shop, and then you start feeling a little bit of pressure. In the beginning, a lot of times people will create a shop and then they think that things are just going to fly off the shelf. They're not going to be able to keep up with orders and stuff like that. Let's just keep it real. Okay. I'm just going to keep it very, very real and very, very honest. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say there aren't people out there that this happens to. Okay. So sometimes you might be one of those people that opened up an Etsy shop or an eBay shop or a Shopify or whatever, and things flew off the shelf. Okay, maybe that happened. I don't know. Me, for Jeanette, I opened it up and things just sold here, there. Days sometimes would go by, nobody would buy. Maybe I would get a sale here, a sale there. And eventually things did start to roll. Okay. There are still times when I don't get a sale. And yet there are times when I get a lot of sales. So it's very fluctuating. But when you're starting out, it can be kind of stressful, because what you think about is all the time that you spent in trying to build your brand, trying to build your business, all the time that you spent in money and buying supplies and stuff like that. You don't want to see that go to waste. You really want to see the return on investment and all that kind of stuff. And, if you don't see it right away, it can get kind of overwhelming and it can lead you to be very stressful. The thing that, to me, I just look at it like this. In anything in life that you do, whether it's starting a business or anything, you're always going to be taking a risk. And the thing is, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be patient. You have to give it time, and you got to let it roll. Okay. There are going to be times when you do get burnt out, when, maybe you have a lot of sales, or you're just spending so much time on your shop and trying to make samples and all that kind of stuff. When you get to that point of the burnt out, and I've done it myself, just take a break. Take a break, take a breather, and you got to take care of you. Because the way and this is something I always tell everybody, tell all my friends, I even tell my son and my husband, if you don't put yourself first and you don't take care of yourself, you're no good to anyone, honestly, because you have to be strong for yourself. Because if you are a wreck, how are you going to be there for those around you? So that's just really my philosophy and how I do things. Okay. When I get stressed, I do take my breaks. I will go out to dinner with a friend. I'll go to a winery. I'll get in my car, just drive around, spend some alone time, meditate, just know that, things are going to be okay. Things sometimes don't work out as you want in life, but that's life, and I'm going to be honest with you. There have been so many times in my life where I wanted something to go a certain way. And when it didn't go that way, it ended up being like a little blessing in disguise, because I ended up with something much better than what I had originally wanted. So, just take your time and don't get there, you got to take care of you. It's really what I want to really, really stress and stuff, because, crafting burnout can be a big thing. There are times when, I feel like I'm crafting, I'm doing so much for other people. And then sometimes you're like, hey, what's somebody doing for me? What about me? And I'm gonna be honest, I was going through one of those moments. And it's funny, like how I say, I think I said it last week that I made the last video that I had made. I was talking about, I feel like, like you put positive energy in the universe, the energy, the universe will give that positive energy back to you. I was going through that. I was burnout, and you know, one of the subscribers, Harmony, she makes these beautiful masks. Um, I wanted to support her and buy a mask, and what she did was she actually took my logo and put it in a mask. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I got her package, I cried because I was just like really taken back, because I've done so much for others, help them with their shops, help them, uplift other people and everything. And she's not aware of it, but that package came at such a moment for me, because I was like thinking I was going to get like a Wonder Woman mask or something, and when I unwrapped it and I saw my logo on that meant everything to me. So, and it's really funny because she gave that to me months ago, and I still talk about it. I still wear it religiously, okay? Even though I'm vaccinated and they say you don't have to wear a mask, I will wear that mask because that's my mask. But, the crafting burnout is real. You have to take care of you, and be good to each other. As crafters, I just feel that the personality of someone that likes to craft and create stuff for other people, I feel that this is a community of good-hearted people that really care of not just other themselves, but other people. Because if you think about it, when you are creating something, even when you're personalizing something, you may not even know that person. Because I know I feel this way on Christmas when I was doing the towels for Christmas, okay? Someone would place an order for a towel, and it's a gift. And that I need to personalize it. So I take the towel and I'm putting it in the embroidery machine. What goes through my mind is how that person is going to react when they open the box or the bag and they see this towel with their name embroidered on it, how special they are going to feel, So as crafters, I just feel that we have that gift in a way. It's that we're doing things because we know that what we do is something that brings joy to other people. Okay. We get paid, yeah, but but it's just something that's really good. And the thing is, when you are someone that gives a lot, sometimes you can get burned out. So what I'm saying is, please always remember to always take care of yourself. It is real, you can get burnt out and all that kind of stuff, but just take care of yourself, and don't be, afraid to reach out to friends and all that kind of stuff and everything, and my laptop, it locked out. Let me open it up because I want to make sure. I wanted to cover that because someone had, oh man, there it is. Someone had asked about it, and I just wanted to give a little spiel of how I feel about crafting, burnout. It is real. Everybody feels it. If somebody tells you they don't go through that, oh, they're full of it. They go through it. They just don't want to share it. Okay. Let's just say that. Okay. Because, hey, we are all people. We're all people. We all breathe the same air. We eat. Poop, you know what I'm saying? We all do it. We're people. Okay. And, people have feelings and stuff. Okay. So, okay. Now, when I asked about today, there were certain people that had wrote on there about certain things that they wanted me to talk about. Okay. Now, the first one that popped up was Applique, and I do have a video, Applique 101. Okay. On the Applique, I show you step by step what an applique is. And I even bring it up on Embrilliance, and I bring up an applique so that you can see the 3 steps that are involved in an applique, which is, of course, the placement stitch, which is going to show you where you're going to put your fabric, or you can use heat vinyl transfer or leather or whatever whatever you want to put on there. And then you have your tack down stitch, and then that's where you're going to cut the fabric, and then you have your satin stitch. Now they have something new. Well, I don't know if it's new, but it's just something that I noticed. They called it a zigzag stitch. Instead of a satin stitch, they do a zigzag stitch around it. And I think it kind of gives it like a little roughy look. I've been looking at those files. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to buy one and I'm going to give it a shot and stuff. They do look cute. The only thing that I kind of think about when I see the zigzag stitch instead of the satin stitch is the fabric going to fray? And if it is, then we may have to put fray check on that. So it's just something that I thought about. So there was another question that was put out there was about tension and stabilizers. Okay. If you're using the SC1900, this is, I did a video on the tension. Your tension should be set at the 4.0. That's the setting that the machine is on. Now, you can set the tension on your bobbin. The best way to set your tension, and I actually got this tip off from Eve. I'm telling you, I be watching all her stuff, okay? She did the tension stitch, okay. The tension test. She did that on a 4x4 machine. It was a single needle machine, and she did it on the letter I, which if you think about it, that's pretty smart because, you don't want to like do a whole, design to test the tension. The letter I is just a straight, stitch. And, I would always say use the letter I as, and I agree with her because that will show you exactly how the tension is. Now, if you see that the tension is a little off, when I had talked to Justin, the guy that works on my embroidery machines, he had me turn a little screw on the bobbin case. And in that video, I show you how to do it. And it's supposed to be left loosey, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Yeah, that's how it is. So, he just had me turn the screw just a little bit. You don't go crazy and start turning the whole thing because then you're going to end up with a mess, okay? So you just turn it very, very little. And then just keep testing the little I and you'll finally get it. Now, with the stabilizers, this is my rule of thumb. If you wear it, you do not tear it, okay? So shirts, polos, stuff that you wear, especially stretchy fabric. If you have fabric that stretches a lot and stuff like that, Cutaway. I always like to use Cutaway. However, if you have something like jeans denim, okay, jeans is not very stretchy. You can use tearaway on that because it's very, very tough material, okay? The other thing is I've always talked about this article that I found, and it's very, very, very helpful. It's called Fabrics 101 Stabilizer and Design Guide. This will not steer you wrong. I use it. As you can see, I have it right here next to my machines. I mean, this is my go-to. I always, if I'm not sure, I go here, I look, it tells you about the type of stabilizer, even type of designs, okay? If you can have a very dense design or a light design. Now, I'm going to tell you, not every design can be stitched on every type of fabric, okay? So keep that in mind. Depending on, the design that you have. If you have something that's extremely dense, you're not going to be able to really stitch that out very nicely on a very thin piece of fabric. Because what it is that's too many stitches on that piece of fabric, and the fabric is going to pucker. It's going to pucker a lot, and it's not going to come out looking nice and smooth. So pay attention to the designs that you pick when you are looking to have those things embroidered on fabrics, on your fabrics, right? For instance, I have a jean jacket, and I wanted to embroider my own Tesla jean jacket, and I went and I embroidered the whole back. For my jean jacket, I use tearaway because the jeans are very sturdy. They're not very stretchy, right? Now, if I am embroidering a shirt or a baby onesie, I like to use Cutaway because those are very, very stretchy fabrics, okay? And depending also on the design as well, you know, but even with clothes, my rule of thumb is always Cutaway, Cutaway, Cutaway. Remember, clothes, especially clothes that you kind of wear like this shirt and stuff like that, you're gonna throw it in the washing machine. You throw it in the washing machine, what's gonna happen? It's gonna go through this little wrong cycle. And even though I know you probably tell your customers, put it in the washing machine, hang it to dry, chances are they're not gonna hang it to dry. They're gonna throw that sucker in the dryer, and then it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out all crinkly, and they're gonna blame you. So anyway, but that's how it goes. But anyway, just so you know that I wanted to share and stuff like that. Now, I know I'm covering these things a little fast, but if you got questions, put them in those comments and stuff, because I will go through the comments list and I will try to address everything, okay, and stuff. Let's see, because I don't have my friend Jade here because she's out of town. So I'm on my own. Okay, ideas on embroidery items that need disassembling, like bags, pot holders, and sweatpants. Okay, for that, your seam ripper is your friend, okay? Now, this is the other thing too. Keep in mind, not everything out there can be embroidered, okay? Not everything is meant to be embroidered. You may come across certain products that just aren't that good to go on the machine, or you may even come across products that you may not even feel comfortable embroidering, okay? Now, when it comes to things like that you need to, like, I know that some people were asking, I don't know if it was in our Facebook group or if it was in another one, they were asking about a shirt, if they had a pocket here, because I think some people like to have their initials on the pocket. Maybe the men like to have that on their shirts, their dress shirts. Take the seam ripper, carefully remove the stitches, and then I would float the item, right? Try to remove as less as possible. And I don't know if I'm making sense to you guys, but I guess what I'm trying to say is remove the stitches, but don't go crazy and disassemble the whole thing. You know what I mean? Just remove as much as you need in order to get it to a flat surface and position it correctly so that you can embroider on it. Okay, that's what I would do. I will say this though, that's a lot of work, okay? When you have to take something apart, embroider it, and then resew it. When it comes to stuff like this, I highly recommend think about your pricing. Remember, I did a video on embroidery pricing, and one of the things that I said, and I'm guilty as well, I'm guilty of this as well, we don't sometimes charge for our time. Our time is valuable, okay? I'm as guilty too, I sometimes focus more on the material, getting the money back for the material, and it's like I forget, hey, Jeanette, what about all the work you did? You had to hoop that, or you had to remove that seam, you had to hoop it, then you had to embroider it, and then you had to put it back together. Then you had to package it and all that kind of stuff, and taking the order and all that kind of stuff. That's time. That's all time. So, you gotta, just don't sell yourself short. Make sure you price it right. I'm guilty of that though. I mean, I always kind of like, like, oh, I'll just give them a basic price, like, oh, okay, $10, $15 or whatever. But but just don't sell yourself short. But it's the seam ripper, okay? Also, when you get items that you have to pull apart, okay, and you have to resew it, look at the way the item is sewn and make sure that you're confident enough that you can sew it back, okay? You don't want to like take something apart and then you embroider it, and then when you go to sew it back, you're not sewing it right. And I'm gonna be honest, you know, you don't have to take every order that goes your way. If you see something, if somebody comes up to you with something that's kind of like funky and you're kind of like, okay, I'm not sure, don't do it. Because the reason that I say don't do it is for the fact that something goes wrong, then it's going to be a problem with the customer. Because then what's going to happen is you're going to have a dissatisfied customer, and you don't want, you know, people talk, and then, you know, next thing you know, especially if it's someone local, they may come out and say, well, I went to her and she jacked up my bag or jacked up my jacket or my shirt and all that kind of stuff. And then it can really mess you up. It can mess up your business and stuff like that. You know, always take the orders that you feel really comfortable and, you know, taking and stuff like that. A lot of times, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of embroidering on other people's products unless it's something that I know for sure I can do. Okay. If I see that there's something that I'm kind of like worried, I'll just be like, nope, I won't do it. I mean, and you know, if they get upset, then I don't know what to say. You know, I mean, they'll get over it. You know, that's what I got to say about that. Okay, so anyway, they'll get over it. Let me see. Then it says multi hooping. Okay, this one is really interesting. Okay, someone asked about how can, you know, let's say you have a design and you have to multi hoop it. Okay, this is really big when you have a single needle machine and, you know, like an SC1900 where you only have a 5x7 hoop. And let's say you want something like this, like what I have on, right? This obviously is not going to fit in a 5x7 hoop, right? So you're going to have to embroider certain parts, and then, you know, you got to hoop it, embroider it, then hoop it again, embroider it. So how would you go about doing this? Okay. Now in Embrilliance, all right, you can print out your designs. So I want to show you, and I'm going to add this on here. I want to put this on the screen. This is a design that I'm working on right now. You know, I just love my little cup, the Puerto Rican flag. Anyway, let me see if I can show you right here. I'm going to scroll this down. I'm going to go over to my Embrilliance over here. Okay. Hopefully you guys see me. Yeah, you do. It doesn't look like, okay. All right. It doesn't look like it's going to let me show you. I have to share my whole desktop. Okay. When you're in Embrilliance, all right, and you have your design, just like you have it here, go under, and it's going to say File, Print. When you click Print, and I'm going to see if I can print mine right here. Hold on. Is this not going to work on me? That's going to suck. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay. It's not. All right. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to do a video on this. Okay, guys? I'm just going to have to do a video on this. It's just not. All right. What I am trying to say, let me remove this because this is not going to work. All right. I'll do a video on it. I promise. Okay. It's not hard. All right. What's going to happen is in Embrilliance, you have your design. You're going to be able to print out the template. When you print out the template, cut out the template. And then what you're going to do is take your shirt, pin the template where you want that part of the design to be. Take all of the parts of your design, pin it on your shirt. Okay. And so you're going to have like papers, right? What I would do is float the item. You float the item. You're going to use a 5x7 hoop. You can use it like this. You can put Cutaway stabilizer or sticky stabilizer. Okay. Spray it. Okay. Spray it with temporary adhesive if it's Cutaway stabilizer. This is tearaway stabilizer, by the way. I meant sticky stabilizer. Sorry. I'm losing it today. Okay. Because I'm tired. Okay. Sticky stabilizer, you don't need temporary adhesive because sticky stabilizer, of course, is sticky. Okay. So if you have Cutaway, let's say you don't have the sticky stabilizer. I mean, not Cutaway, tearaway. I mean, yeah, Cutaway. I meant Cutaway, okay? Because we're talking about a shirt, okay? It's okay, confused. Okay, I'm having a moment here. All right, Cutaway. Then you're going to spray it with temporary spray adhesive. I use KK2000, but I know there's other good brands out there. What's important is you want to make sure you get a brand that doesn't gum up your needle, okay? And then what you do is take the shirt with the piece of paper, have it pinned where you want it, and then you're going to position it on here. Then what you do is just make sure that your shirt, when you put this underneath your embroidery machine, that it's in the right place, okay? And you got, you know, when you print out the design's going to have like a little X right in the middle of the design. Make sure you align that with that, you know, so that the X is like right smack in the middle. So that way, when you put down the needle, you'll know exactly where it is. I hope I made sense to you guys. So what you do is, you know, then you do your first design. Then what you're going to do is you just unhoop it. Then you put in a new piece of paper. Take the shirt again with the other design. You're going to place it, do that design, and then you just keep going. And then there you go. That's you can, you know, create something, you know, big on your shirt and stuff like that. Now you have the 5x12 hoop. The 5x12 hoop is another option. If you have it Brilliance, you can save your design and it saves it under 2 files, and you can use the 5x12 to do that. Now a 5x12 hoop does not work with Applique. I'm going to tell you that right now. You cannot take an Applique file and put it in Brilliance and save it to go to a reposition hoop. It just doesn't work. I tried it. If somebody knows the trick, let me know. But no, it doesn't work that way, because you got to remember the way Applique works is it does the trace for you to put the fabric, and then does the tack down, and then the satin stitch. It can't break that process up. The only way that I found you could do it is if the whole applique design is on one side of the 5x12 hoop. The applique design cannot be cut in half. So it has to be either all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And it has to be fully saved on one of those files. That's how the applique works on a 5x12. You have to do it that way. You cannot cut it in half, because it won't work. Let me see. Okay. Oh, and another thing too, when you are placing the items on your shirt, right? Because, you know, you don't have a 5x12 or whatever, you know, you're using a 5x7, use a ruler and use a chalk pen. That'll help you. So that way you can keep track, you know, you can help align everything. Now, the other thing is, make sure you're careful about the pens that you buy to mark off items. I bought these, and I'm having a terrible time with them now. They were working great before, but what's happening is these are the ones that disappear with the heat. And then I was working on laptop cases, and I noticed that they started to reappear. And I think they were reappearing with the cold. So I gave up on these. I'm no longer using these. I'm just using plain old chalk, because chalk, you can just clean it off. Okay. I'm kind of steering away from these pens now. I'm not having too much luck with these things. Okay. So, I mean, you know, they work great, but then I noticed that the lines started to reappear when it got the cold air, and I'm like, I ain't feeling that. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I see somebody asked for Mello. Okay, well, Mello's in the basement with hubby. I'll send him a text and see if towards the end if we'll send Mello upstairs. Different types of hoop projects. Puckering while embroidering. Puckering is very, very, I still get puckering sometimes. I will tell you. I feel that sometimes you get puckering really is because you're not using the right stabilizer. You're not using enough stabilizer. Some of the information. Okay. I would like to get some information on making letters and numbers to go with Letterman jackets. I buy my fonts. Okay. I don't, if you have a particular style font that you want and you don't see it, then what I recommend is going to a digitizer and seeing if maybe the digitizer can digitize the alphabet for you. I don't know how much that would cost. I have not gone to a digitizer yet to digitize any designs. Mostly what I have been doing is buying different designs. I always make sure I always read that they don't mind about resales, using their designs to sell products and all that kind of stuff, because I don't want any of that copyright mess. Okay. So every time I read, and I see that it's a file I could buy and I like the designs, I like to collect designs. And then what I usually do is I try to take designs, merge them, and kind of create my own thing, I'll take a design and I'll put a saying on it or something, you know what I mean? I have not needed to get a digitizer yet. I know the time will come when somebody's going to come and ask for something to be digitized and stuff. And I'm sure I'm going to have to look for somebody, but I don't know. And knowing me, I'll probably be like, man, go to somebody else. Because I don't know if I'm ready, if I'm ready for that. Because like I said, this is just really a part-time fun thing for me to do right now. Okay. I'm still working full-time. During the day, I really have to focus on my job because my job is pretty stressful. So it's like I don't have the time to like run into the sewing room and stuff like that. But I will say, when at the end of the day, I look forward to coming here because this is like my zone area. This is like, when I walk into this room, it's like I leave everything out. It's like I get to like breathe and be me and really like enjoy the machines and stuff like that. Sometimes the noise of the machine kind of like soothes me in a way because it's kind of like, I just feel like I'm in my place. I don't know. Let me see. I want to make sure I cover everything. Jesus, let's see. Okay. I miss Jade. She keeps me so organized, Okay. Let's see. I think because there were 13 comments out there and I think I got everything and stuff. But I was really interested when they were talking about the crafting burnout because last night I saw someone that was talking about that. They were talking about how they felt stressed, they felt the pressure and stuff, and it kind of made me feel sad, because it's something that I feel that we need to enjoy, because to me that's why I got into it, because I enjoy doing it. If I can make an extra couple of bucks doing it, great, but I kind of look at it at the end of the day. It's something this is really for me, if I, I don't know, like right now, I keep saying a lot. I got to go back to Toastmasters and stuff. I don't know if you guys know about Toastmasters. Toastmasters is where you do public speaking and all that kind of stuff. I used to do that at my job, and it was fun. So, here we go again. I'm telling you, if I had a Toastmaster board, they probably would have said, you said 100 and I would be like, well, because they count them. So, here we go again. The crafting, I started to do it, and, I am doing pretty good with the Etsy shop and everything. And with Cardito now going to college, and I don't want to take money out of my savings if I can avoid it. So I have been trying to use all the money that I'm making out of the Etsy and everything to pay for his apartment while he's away at VCU. So I don't know. I may have to still dip, but that's okay. I'm gonna go down and say hi to you guys and stuff. Oh, it's already like 8:39. It's let's see who's on here. Hey, Miss Max, how are you? Hey, Wilma. Hey, Iris. Hey, Diane. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Mary Beth. Oh, yep. Hit that like button. I'm kind of like all over the place this Friday. I really am and stuff. And but the thing is, I had a lot going on because I broke the needle threader on my 6-needle machine. But I really love YouTube because you go to YouTube, you can find everything. So I did a search on Brother 670E, repair, the needle threader, and there was this guy, beautiful job. I mean, he explained it step by step how to change out the part for the needle threader. Because what happened was I was changing my needles, and I had the little hook that you hold the needle in to go up, and I hit the button and I just messed it up. And then it wasn't threading my needle anymore. So I had to buy the part, and then I was going to take it to the sewing shop, but I know that every time you go to the sewing shop, that costs money. That costs a lot of money, to get the machine serviced, because I know when I take my machine to get serviced, I'm paying $300. I don't mind doing it on an annual basis, but I was kind of like upset with myself because I literally just got the machine back from getting it serviced about a month ago. And then I go and I break the needle threader. And I was kind of like, really, Jeanette? Now you're going to have to lug it back. And I'm upstairs. So, and we're kind of old, my husband's up there too. So whenever I have to take these machines to get serviced, we have to actually, carry the machines downstairs, put them in the car, and then when we get there, take them in the store. So, and they're heavy. These machines are not light machines at all. I mean, they're really, really heavy. There's like one person cannot carry this machine. So he looked at it as great. Now we're going to have to like lug this sucker back downstairs, get it in the car. And we just did that last month. So when I found the video and the guy was showing exactly how to do it, he did such a good job in explaining it step by step that I was able to just order the part, and then my husband just played the video and keep replaying it and everything, and he was able to fix my needle threader. So I am back in action on my 6-needle machine. I mean, it still worked. It's just that I had to actually thread all 6 needles while I was doing that. Because right now, the way I had the machine set up is I'm using the 6-needle machine to do all my hats. And then I got the 10-needle machine to do everything else. And then if I have a big order of, like, let's say dinner napkins, which I love doing, if I get like an order of 6 dinner napkins or 12 dinner napkins, then I'll take out the hat driver and the hat hoop on my 6-needle, and I'll have both of the machines running so that way I can get the items done quick. Because I usually like to ship my products the next day if I can. But my sales have been good that I can actually do that. And sometimes I do keep certain items in stock. Like when I do my kitchen towels, that's another thing. If you have items in your store that aren't personalized, right? Like I like to do my kitchen towels, and I have, I love doing la cocina de abuela. Everybody loves abuela, okay? Everybody loves grandma. So I always like to create the towel. I always make like 1 or 2. I'll make more than 2 if it's like a bestseller, like, the little cup with the Puerto Rican flag and the Cocina de Abuela. That is one of my best designs, and a lot of people buy those, especially during Christmas and birthdays and everything. So I usually have like 2 or 3 of those in my closet already stitched out. And as I sell them, I will recreate one, and I always have them in there. That way, when a sale comes, I don't, if I'm not in the mood to turn on the embroidery machine, or I'm just too busy or something like that, I can just go ahead and just take whatever's already in the closet and just package it up and mail it out. And then I can just, sell it really quick that way. So it's just something, little tip. If you have a Etsy shop and everything, and you're selling stuff that's really not personalized, just keep one or two in stock that's already ready to ship. That way, if somebody buys it, you're not running around crazy, because sometimes you don't know what you're doing. You could have a really busy day, or sometimes you could be real bored. If you're real bored, then it's not a big deal. You turn on the machine and do your thing, and stuff. So it's something to share, Hey, Iris. See Mary Beth, Cheryl. Don't forget to hit the like button. Hey, Iris. Hey, Sassy. Karen. Hey, So Sweet. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Tracy. Our family's growing. And stuff. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Ozzy. How you doing? I love your shirt, Ozzy. I bought a shirt from Ozzy. It says The Human Race, and I love it. I mean, he's like the shirt guy. I love his shirt. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Shayna. Hey, Daisy, Iris, Cheryl. Hey, Norma. Norma, I gotta hit you up when we go to Miami again. And stuff. Hey, Renee, Evelyn, Lisa. If you guys have questions, shout them out. Shout them out. Hey, Barb. Hey, Harmony. I was talking about you today again. I tell you, she will always have a spot in my heart because of that mask. Always. Hey, Wilma. Hey, Porta, how you doing? Yolanda. Hey, Lisa. Everybody's just say hi. What sells the most for you? Hell, Wilma. My kitchen towels, Wilma. And I will say the dinner napkins sell a lot too. But, the other thing too is think about seasons, okay? My kitchen towels and my, when it comes to like Christmas and especially Thanksgiving, when Thanksgiving is coming, Wilma, I tell you, everybody wants dinner napkins. And if you think about it, it does make sense, okay? Because, Thanksgiving is all about the family getting together and, eating at the dinner table. So, of course, people like to decorate their table and stuff like that. Except if you're like me and my husband, though. We always go out to eat, I don't like to cook it. I don't like to clean it. So we're always like, where are we going? So anyway, but enough about me. Anyway, the dinner napkins really do sell well, especially during the holidays. Okay, you got Christmas dinners, you got Thanksgiving dinners. So that really sells really good for me. Now, my kitchen towels do sell well too. They sell really great during Mother's Day because, everybody always, wants to buy something personalized for a mom, So that's really a hot item for me. And they also sell really well during the Christmas holidays too. So those are really my best things. And actually, those are the things that I really love. Now, I actually had started making some kids shirts. I'm really not into the kids shirt. I make them because I figure if somebody buys it, then I make a sale, But I bought very low inventory of blanks for the kids items. And I just put some designs out there just to see, okay? Because the way I look at it is 20 cents to just do a listing on Etsy. If I make a sale, great. And if I don't, that's okay. And like I said, I bought a very limited amount of blanks. I didn't go crazy buying a whole bunch. I got my blanks from ARB Blanks, and I just bought like 3 in each size, and I have them in a box. And if I sell, great. If I don't sell, that's fine too. I don't know when I'm gonna have any grandkids, because at the rate that Carlito's going, I don't know. I hope I'm alive when he has kids, but what the shirts don't turn yellow, like I said last time, because you never know. But he's no girlfriend yet, you know, he's in college and he's thinking about, you know, studying medicine. So he's gonna be in college for a while. So I don't know when I'm gonna have grandkids, honestly. So, but my friends will probably have grandkids, so I'll make them gifts, you know. So, you know, um, let's see. Hey Lisa, okay, facts. My 5-year-old acting too cool for me already. I get all the cuddles though. Shayna, hug them when they're young. I'm telling you. Even though when I left my son on Monday at VCU, I did get a big hug. Okay. But I will tell you, I cried all the way home in the car. All I kept thinking was, thank God I drive a Tesla. That thing had autopilot because my eyes were like, you know, I was like, oh my God. Because all I kept thinking was, oh my God, I'm so proud of him. And he's so grown. And, you know, as a parent, you're going to worry. You're going to worry. You know, they'll always be, you know, you know, and he's my only son. He's my only son. And, you know, I will say that what went through my mind as I was driving home was, you know, me and him, you know, we were always a team because, you know, as I said, you know, I raised him as a single mom, you know, so it was me and him all the time. I don't have family here. So, you know, me and Cardito were on our own. And, you know, I just kept thinking about, you know, all the things, you know, like me getting up at 4 in the morning and, you know, trying for a kid. He was the first kid in daycare and the last one to get picked up. And I was always a wreck because, you know, being a single mom, having a career, and not having family, you know, to help is, it's hard. It really is because, you know, I really envied a lot of people that were married because I mean I saw one parent was the drop off and one parent was the pickup, and I was the drop off and the pickup, and there were times when I had meetings and I had to tell people I have to go because I had to get on that bus, and I could not miss that bus because if I went to the daycare and I picked up Carlito late, you had that big late fee, and you know if you are late too many times, you know, first of all I didn't want to pay the late fee because I'm cheap, you know. And at the same time, I didn't want to put myself in that position, okay? Because there was no backup plan. There was no backup plan, you know? And all that went through my mind. All that went through my mind how, you know, me and him, we made it. You know, because what goes through your mind is, you know, you kind of have the world in a way against you in a way, you know. I always, me personally, and I don't know if it's true, but this is just how I felt. I sometimes felt that people kind of looked down on me a little bit being a single mom, you know, and I felt guilty sometimes being a single mom for the simple fact that, you know, sometimes I would look at these stay-at-home moms and they would be able to drop their kids off at school and pick them up from school, and they were able to volunteer at the school. And, you know, I would sometimes call out sick like twice a month just so that I could have the luxury to drive my son to school and pick him up, so that I could sometimes show up at lunchtime and bring him McDonald's. All that went through my mind, you know, when I left him. Ooh, I hope I don't get teary-eyed now. Oh my goodness, that would be embarrassing. Oh, anyway. But anyway, you know, it just went through my mind. And, you know, it's like I feel like sometimes, you know, the world's kind of like against you. And when, you know, I looked at my son and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want him to be a statistic. I want him to really do well. You worry a lot. That is one thing for sure. You know, I became like the worry wart. And because I was so worried, I had to make sure that everything was fine. And, you know, I made sure that I saved every penny because I was like, you will go to college if you want to. I didn't want to, you know, I never wanted Cardito to feel like he had to follow any type of career path. If anything, I always told my son, I just want you to be happy. I want you to just do what you love doing and just be happy, you know, follow your dreams. What kind of difference do you want to make in this world? But I socked it away because I looked at it as somebody might want to go to college, if not him, maybe his children and stuff. But it worked out. It worked out. He is going to college, and thank God all the money that I saved in the 529 is paying for the tuition, and now I just got to pay for his dorm. So anyway, I got on into my personal stuff. Anyway, but yeah. So Shayna, just hug them. Hug them. I mean, they will always, I mean, and they always come home. They always do, because I know he'll probably, if he's watching this, he's probably going to be pissed if I mention this, but he's been there now for a week, and I did get a phone call. He let me know that the toilet in the apartment was clogged up, and I was just like, okay, I was like, I'm 2 hours away, I can't go there to unclog it, but he figured it out, and I was very proud of him, because I started thinking to myself, oh my God, he probably lived in a bubble all his life. This is the first time he's truly, truly on his own. Because usually when something's wrong, how kids always do. Something's wrong, they go, Ma, that's what they do. So, of course, he picked up the phone, Ma, and I'm kind of like, well, I can't help you. I'm 2 hours away. I'm not going to drive 2 hours to unplug the toilet. You'll be fine, and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, kids are something. I only have one, though, Childbirth hurt a lot. That's why I only have one. Can't do two. Let me see. If you're a wreck, you can't be there for cut. Hey, Eve, how you doing? Yes, and this baby was right. If you are a wreck, you cannot be there for your customers either. And you got to remember too, your customers are coming to you. You got to be confident. You got to be confident. So that's why, to me, I always say, my rule of thumb has always been, let me see what you need. What is it that you want done? And if I know for sure I can do it, I got you. I can do it. If I'm not sure, I'm honest with the customer. I will just flat out tell them. I'll say, okay, if you got a particular shirt, I'll say, you know what? I never embroidered on that shirt before. I don't know how it's going to come out. Where did you buy that shirt? Just in case I mess it up. And then I would just, and if I look at it, and sometimes if I'm really not confident at all, I'll just tell them no. Because I prefer to just, I don't want them to have the expectation that they're going to give that to me, and then the machine eats it up, and then it's like, ooh, then they're going to be feeling some kind of way, and then you're going to be feeling some kind of way, and then it's going to be like, oh my God, and you want to avoid that. See, that's the other thing too. I like to avoid problems, okay? So that's why, to me, I always feel, be honest with your customers up front. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, just tell them. Just tell them. And if they have a problem with you being honest, believe me, then that means that's a win-win situation for you, because that was not a customer you wanted. Because that's why I like having my own little side hustle, my own little side embroidery business, okay? Because I like to do things that's going to make me feel comfortable and make me feel good. And the way I look at it is, if you're kind of like flaky, you can go somewhere else. I'm like, nah. It's like, I'm still going to have a meal. I'm not that worried about it and stuff. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Barb. I don't even have a business and I get burnt out. Yeah, but you know what? Take your breaks. Take your breaks, Portia. I mean, I'm telling you, crafting burnt out is a real thing. I mean, because like I said, I mean, we all have it. I mean, there are times that I come in here and sometimes I don't even want to turn these suckers on. I look at them and I'm like, oh God. And I'm going to tell you something. When my husband, I had the 6-needle machine for a long, long time. Remember, I was telling you guys that I wanted to get another embroidery machine. And Mother's Day came, and my husband was like, hey, let's get that second machine. And I was kind of like, So he said, well, I already went, we getting the 10 needle. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, that's the one you wanted. I'm like, yeah, I kind of did. Because I did. I wanted the Brother 10. I got the Brother 1055X. And the reason why I wanted that was because it had the scanning capability. And, you know, it like scans it and it shows you exactly where the item is going to be embroidered on the hoop, right? It's like a real picture. And then you can move it around if it's off a little. So I really love that capability. So I was like, oh, that's the machine I want. I really want that one, right? So he got it. And I felt pressure when we picked it up and we put it in the room. Then I felt pressured because I was thinking, shoot, we spent a lot of money on the 6 needle. Now we spent a lot of money on the 10 needle. I'm gonna have to make sure I get that money back. But then, you know, my husband, he did say something that kind of put me at ease a little bit. He goes, have fun. If it doesn't work out, you can always sell the machine. You go sell the 6 needle machine, stay with the 10 needle machine. He goes, if you really think about it, even when we go out and we're going to a dinner party or something, you know, it kind of, you know, I'll make little gift baskets, you know. Well, we don't go to dinner parties anymore because of the pandemic, but we used to go, you know, when people, you know, whenever we met people before the pandemic, we used to actually go out and meet people for dinner and stuff like that. Or I would host dinner parties at the house. And one of the things that I do is I would take like a little kitchen towel or something and I would embroider, you know, the names, or if we had friends that just bought a house or something like that, I would do dinner napkins for them with their names and all that kind of stuff. So if you really think about it, if I was to buy those items from somewhere else, I would be paying a pretty penny for that. Now that I have the machine here, all I have to do is just buy the blanks, and then I can go and I can create my own gifts for my friends. And you know, whenever I would go, when I would give it to them, they would be like, "Oh my God, this is so cute, nice, and everything." A perfect example is when I went to visit my parents in Miami. My mom wanted a bathroom set for her bathroom. She had been asking me that for the longest, okay? And I said, okay, let me just finally do it. So I went and I bought the files and I went to Target, got her a whole bathroom set. I put in the big towel, I put the last name, and then the other ones I put their first names, and then I put the initial on the hand towel. And it came out really, really nice. And if I was to actually go somewhere and buy that whole towel set or embroidered the way that I had did, I probably would have been looking at maybe spending $200 to $300 on that. But instead, I went to Target and spent $50. But then again, if you really think about it, I spent more than $50 because I had the embroidery machine, my stabilizer, then I had my topping, you know, that kind of stuff. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you really think about it, you know, it's more than just using it for business. I actually use it for personal stuff as well. You know, my son sometimes wants me to embroider jackets for him, or hats or something like that, or a book bag, you know, his gym bags, you know, put his name on his gym bag or something like that. You know, if he went somewhere else and bought that gym bag with his name on it, he would have been paying a pretty penny, you know. So it kind of actually, you know, works pretty good for it and stuff. Let me see what else. My biggest seller are microwave baked potato bags. Oh, I never heard of that, Mary Beth. I gotta look that up. I have to look that up and stuff. I don't even have. Oh, okay. I think I read that already. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Hey, Miss Williams, sassy. Let's see. Three. I got you, boo. Harmony, she's so sweet. Miss Eve, I will celebrate you here. Happy Friday. Hey, oh Eve, you got something going on? Is it your birthday? I'm gonna start a rumor. It's Eve's birthday, everybody. Let me start. Okay. I feel getting paid for what a person does is a plus, but a real payment for me is making a person's day by giving gifts. I feel the exact same way. An eating type of people. Hey, Miss Miles. Okay. Maybe use heat and bond on the fabric for the zigzag. Yeah, you're right. Okay, but you know what, Shana? What I was thinking is with the applique, I always use the heat bond whenever I do the fabric. But the edging of that zigzag on the applique, it's not like the satin stitch that it's like a real clean, closed stitch. It's actually just zigzag. So when it's zigzagged, there's still some fabric that shows through. And I'm like wondering, even though the heat and bond is behind the fabric, I'm wondering if within time that will fray. I'm not sure. That's what I'm curious about and stuff. But I do want to try it because the zigzag, the appliques with the zigzag stitching at the ends, those really look cute. They really, really do. So I want to try that. And I see that that's being used a lot with letters and stuff. So, hello, when can get the guide? Thank you in advance. Oh, hey, Queen X. Okay, the guide. Yes, the guide that I'm telling you about. Go to, okay, the best, I believe this guide came from embroiderylibrary.com. But what I recommend that you do, Queen, is if you were to just go to Google and in parentheses type Fabrics 101 Stabilizer and Design Guide, close quotes, hit enter, it's going to pop up. It will pop up and you'll see it. Okay? And stuff. So, and if you don't see it, then let us know on the Facebook group and we will, and it's even posted in the Facebook group under files. It's there. Let me see. How doesn't the Cutaway stabilizer have different weights? Yes, it does. I have seen stabilizer have different weights. You can get them in light, medium, and heavy. Okay. I always use the medium one. I do have heavy stabilizer, and I have actually used the heavy stabilizer. I use the heavy Cutaway stabilizer when I was using the Calabambas. Those are the shirts. Canna Loud Bandits. How the heck do you say that? Oh, Bella Canvas. Okay, sorry. All right, Bella Canvas. Okay, y'all know my English. Okay, so anyway, the Bella Canvas shirts. I get those off of jiffyshirts.com. Very, very thin shirts. Those are the ones that, if you saw the video of the horror story of the 36 shirts, that was my first big order. Those were the shirts that I got. It was the Bella Canvas, and they were very, very thin. Now, I was using medium weight stabilizer, and it just not stitching out right. It kept shifting and all that kind of stuff. It just wasn't working. So I had to get heavy stabilizer for that. And then it worked perfect and stuff. So if you have something that's very thin material, then that's when I recommend using the heavy Cutaway. If but most of the time I always use medium and stuff. So hope that helps a little bit. How difficult and labor intensive is it to cut jump stitches? Okay, what would be the next step up from the brother Essie Nunti that cuts okay. The next step up, Sassy, I believe is, I think it's a NB 2600. You would have to go to the sewing shop for that. And I believe the hoop for that one is 6x10. That's the largest hoop for that one. And if I remember correctly, I think it runs about 25 to close to 3,000 for that machine, somewhere around that area. I think it's called, I know it's a 26, I think it's NV 2600. And I never had that machine because, Sassy, I went from the Brother SC 1900 and then I bought a 6 needle machine. I went and I got the Brother S Brother, what is this? PR 670E. It's a 6 needle machine. The reason why I went with a 6 needle machine at that time is because I don't know. I like baby steps. I guess I'm a baby stepper, you know. I didn't want to overextend, and you know, it's kind of funny. When I bought the SC 1900, and think about it, the SC 1900 is a 6 needle machine. It was $1,000. Okay. Before that one, I bought a sewing machine that only cost $185. Now, $185, I had no problem spending that money on that. But when it came to spending the money on the SC 1900, which was $1,000, I started to feel guilty because I was like, oh my God, I'm spending $1,000 on this sewing machine. Am I going to get a return on investment on this machine? And, you know, it's really funny because I think being, you know, being a single mom and all that kind of in a way played with me, because it's like, you know, you always do for other people. When it comes to my son, there's no expense. Okay. It's like, that's what he wants. That's what he gets. But when it comes to me, you always sell yourself short. And I think that's something that mothers always do, mothers and wives. You know, you always put your family first and stuff. And then, you know, it's like everybody gets all dressed up, right, to go out, and everybody looks great. And then your hair's a mess. You know, you look like a bum, but everybody else looks good. You know, that's usually me. Okay. So when it came to buying the SC 1900, it was like $1,000, and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm spending $1,000. Am I going to get a return on investment? Because all I kept thinking was, it's $1,000 that I'm taking out of my family's funds. You know, I could be doing this, doing that, other stuff for the family. But anyway, pushing all that, I got it. Okay. So, but yes, it would, to me, that was the best investment because I got that $1,000 back and more, especially during the time when COVID hit and the face mask, stores didn't have face masks. That, you know, that is really when people, that if you had a sewing machine, you were golden. And Amazon, I never in my life ever thought that I would ever see that Amazon ran out of sewing machines. Amazon ran out of sewing machines. Joann, everywhere. You couldn't find a sewing machine anywhere. So it's like, if you had a sewing machine at that moment, you were golden. And I made about like close to $2,500 sewing masks, sewing face masks. So I'm like, wow. So I already got my money and some. So when that happened, then I said, okay, let me get the 6 needle machine, because then maybe I can make more money. But then I was going to wait to get the other machine, but my husband kind of pushed and said, I think, you know, you're ready. You should do it. You should do it. And he kept pushing, and he said, come on, let's do it now. He goes, either you do it now, you're going to do it later. Let's just do it now. So I just said, fine, let's do it now. So now I have the pressure of making sure that these two big babies get a return on investment. So, you know, but that, I think the next step up, Sassy, would be getting, you know, if you're interested in a flatbed machine, is a 26, the 2600 one. And I think you're talking about 2,000 or 3,000. Now this is the other thing too. Remember your budget, and also take a look at what you're getting for your money. Okay. Because some of these machines that you see that are flatbeds, single needle, they can get very, very, very pricey. I'm telling you. I mean, you know, when I went to the sewing machine, and I mean the sewing shop, and I saw a machine, I think it was the Luminaire or something like that. That thing was over 10 grand. And I was just like, what? I was like, oh, I was like, that just looks like a fancy SC 1900. Well, you know, it's not really the same thing. I mean, it does so much more. It really does. I mean, it's a nice machine. But when the price range of the machines that I was looking at was getting to 10,000, that's when I said, all right, Jeanette, that's a lot of money for a flatbed single needle machine. And then the multi-needle machine, the 6 needle machine, was about, I think this was 8,000. So I was kind of like, if I'm going to be spending that much money for me, you know, and that's why I say for me, because the thing is, everybody's different. what your requirements are is different from mine. Okay, so I'm just saying for my comfort zone, for me, I just thought it was more beneficial for me to go ahead and take the plunge and try a multi needle instead of the single needle, because I already have a single needle, and I wasn't going to get rid of that machine either. So that's how I did it in my mind, and that's what worked for me. But some people, there are a lot of people that don't have multi needle machines, and they buy the flatbed single needle machines that, I mean, believe me, people are buying them. I mean, brother's not going to be making machines that they can't sell, right? So, there are people that run businesses with those single needle machines. There are people that are running businesses with the SC 1900 and even a 4x4, with the PE 800. So, don't, they're all good machines. So, to me, I just look at it as you just got to pick what's right for you. Okay. What is your most favorite thread color? My thread color. I think it's red. I think so. Let me see. Oh, well, I got a lot of gold. But the thing is, that's not my favorite color, Shayna. I think that's more the customer's favorite color, because when I do the dinner napkins, a lot of people ask for the dinner napkins to have the gold thread. Because, I mean, I will tell you, I mean, sometimes customers, they ask for certain things that you never would have thought of. And then when you create them, it's like they come out gorgeous, Like, I remember one lady, she wanted the black dinner napkins, and she wanted to go with the black dinner napkins, did not think about doing that. Then when I stitched it, I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. And then there was one that wanted the black with the purple, a deep purple. That came out gorgeous too. And I was just like, wow. So, but I do get the request for the gold thread a lot. Personally, I like red. My favorite color really is yellow. You can see my room's yellow, and I like it because I think it's a happy color. That's why. It's happy, it's uplifting. I love that color and stuff. Doesn't the cutaway stabilize? Oh, okay. I think I got that. Okay. Let me see. Comes in different. I'm gonna try Christmas stockings. Christmas stockings, you would have to remove the seam on some of them. That's how I embroider my Christmas stockings. I remove the seams on that. And you know what? Holidays are coming, guys. So this is the perfect time to start thinking about your holidays. Think about, if you're planning on selling or even gifts and stuff like that. This is the time to do it. Don't wait for the last minute, because then you're going to have a hard time finding blanks, and you're going to be very overwhelmed and stuff. And then talk about burnout, cleaning up the jumps. Yep. Yes, the cleaning up jump stitches does take time. The SC 1900, you have to clean them up. I believe the other machines that are single needle do cut the jump stitches. I'm not too sure, because the furthest I went with the single needle is a 1900, but I think so. I'm not too sure. But that is a good question to ask them when you go look at the sewing machines. Ask them if it does cut the jump stitches and stuff. Having a well digitized design will help against having issues with this. Yep, it's very important to make sure that design is really it stitches out really, really good. Which is why, especially if you just got something digitized, always sample stitch. Tide pens take out the marker. Oh, Tide pens. I have a lot of those. Lisa, thanks. I'm going to try that. I used the chalk to mark. Culver came out with a chalk with a pencil type disposal. Yeah, oh no, this isn't Culver. This is Master Sew. I thought this was Culver. It's not. It's Master Sew. Okay. But I like this one because look at the tip. See, it's kind of like, curvy, and it has like a little wheel. So it's cool. I like this one. I really do. So, same here. My craft room is my office. Need my own craft space. Yeah, that is one thing about sewing and crafting. It takes space. I mean, this was the guest room. So as you can see, now I have no guest room. So whenever people come visit, they're gonna have the air mattress and stuff. Well, now I do have, well, and that's not true, because even though Carlito's not in his room, that's his room, and it'll always be his room. But I guess for now I'll let people borrow it, when they visit. Let me see. Let's see what else we got here. You were almost speechless when asked about your favorite thread. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to think, because stuff you don't really normally think about. You just kind of like do it, Do you use the needle for embroidery and for sewing? Yeah, I kind of do, Angelica. I kind of, I believe sewing you should be using, I think it's an 80-12, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really change out my needle. I mean, I have the 7511. That's the one that I use a lot. If I have anything with very, very thin fonts, then I'll change it over to a 65-9. I mean, 65-9. But I've always used the 7511. I do have the other size needles, but I just never bothered to change it out, because I'm like, it sews, so it's like, what the heck, First, hey, Robin, first time live. I'm new to the machine embroidery. Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to get addicted. You're going to love it. And so, hey, Iris. Yep. Welcome to the group. Yep. So, time. Oh, my God. Man, it's past. It's 9:30. It's 9:30. It's past. But I know I talked a lot today and stuff. And, I hope. And I know that I brushed on some of the stuff that you guys talked about, that you guys wanted. I hope I explained it okay. Hey, Jeanette, watching you on my big screen. I'm a star. Hey, Carol. You did great. Smart thinking. Oh, thanks. So I know I drove him crazy. Oh, there was more comments in here. You did good, Mom. Thanks. I try. That's all you can do. You raise them, and you just hope they turn out to be okay, and they good people and stuff. But I think Carlito's gonna be all right, and I'm pretty proud of him. Oh, you're making me teary. Oh, Harry, man, honestly, Harry, you have no idea. The timing of that package that you sent me. You do not know. It's something that I will always treasure. Always, always, always. Girl, you have no idea. I can't imagine the day both my boys go off to college. I don't even know how I can handle it. Lisa, it's hard. It's hard. It really is, It's an experience. It really is. And it's a moment where you're sad because you're leaving, but then at the same time, you're just so super proud, I'm very, very proud of him. I really am. He did good. He did 2 years in community college, and from there, now he's going to finish off at VCU. And he says he wants to stay at VCU because he wants to go to medical school there. So, because they have a very good medical program. So I'm like, okay. And it's only 2 hours away and stuff. So we'll see what happens and stuff. I'm sure he's going to do great no matter what, Oh, I think I jumped around. See, that's why I need Jade here. I got crafting burnout back towards the beginning of the year. I took a break and then I started again. I started cool the first time and I was feeling good being creative on a new product. Yeah, Harmony brings out a good point. Sometimes you can be working on and you know what? I agree with that. Sometimes it's like you're embroidering, right? But you're embroidering the same stuff. And you can get kind of tired of just doing the same thing. And it could get you excited again if you try something else, you know? Like I know like Harmony was doing masks, and then she started to discover hats. And it's like, I mean, I've done the same thing. I did dinner napkins, I did the kitchen towels, I've done the hats, I even did the hat things, and then I started to play around with how am I going to put a patch on a hat. I still have to figure that out because the one that I showed you guys last time did really come out good. There was it's somehow, because it's a curved, it's kind of hard. I think that would be easier to do on a knit hat than it would on a baseball hat. But I don't know. We'll see. Are you loving your 10 needle, Ozzy? I am loving the 10 needle. I really love the functionality of the camera. The camera is really what I truly, truly love, because it shows you exactly where the item is going to embroider. So it takes a picture of the whole hoop with the item inside, and then it actually shows you where the item's going to embroider and what's it going to look like. And I really like that function. That function is like really awesome and stuff. So, I think it's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm all mixed up on my chat room thing. Let's see. Let's see. How's your son VCU so far? Well, Carlito, he just moved into his dorm, Francine. He moved in last Monday, actually. Sunday. This Sunday I moved him in. So he's been there about a week. He actually starts classes on Monday. He said he was going to come home this weekend. I don't think so. Because let's be honest, okay? I mean, he's on his own, and he's probably out there discovering the world, having a great time. So I just look at it as, one of the things that I told him was, you have the key to the house, you know where your home is, and you're welcome anytime. That's all I told him. Do your thing. Just flap those wings and fly. And you know where home is. So that door will always open for you. So that's the only thing I told him. And I just told him, whatever you do, don't embarrass your mother. Because I have to take out the chancleta, and the belt. Nah, I didn't say that, I mean, once they get old, that doesn't work anymore. So, but yeah, he is loving being on his own. I think he's doing really, really well. I had moments where I had given up and gone back up with positive energy. Lisa, everyone's going to have those moments. You're going to have, I'm telling you, if anyone tells you that there has not been a time in their life where they kind of like felt like crap, they're full of it. They're just so full of it. They just don't want to share. Okay. Seriously. You're going to have your moments where you just feel really tired and sometimes you might even feel a little disappointed because things didn't really like turn out the way that you thought they were going to turn out, but it all takes time. And what's important is that you don't give up and you just keep going and you believe in yourself and do your thing. And don't surround yourself around negative people. I tell that to people all the time. When you're in a surrounding and you see somebody that's very, very negative and stuff like that, my advice is always to keep them as far away as possible, because believe me, that negativity will feed on you. It's going to affect you. It really, really is. It's going to be, because you got a Debbie Downer, it's a Debbie Downer, you want somebody that's going to be like, oh, shoot, that happened. Oh, that sucks. All right, well, let's go. Let's keep going. Keep moving forward. That's what you want. You want somebody that's going to just like, kind of like, oh, okay, well, all right, big deal. So that didn't work out. Now what are we going to do? That's what you want. You don't want somebody that's going to be like, oh, that didn't work. Well, I told you that wasn't going to work. Oh, that wasn't never going to Well, you know what you can do, well, I don't know. Just don't do it anymore, You don't want that. You don't want the negative people. Don't, I mean, I don't. I don't. I mean, and I have no problem like going, can't hang with you, like I had one person that we used to go to wineries and stuff like that. I'm a happy drunk, I love to go have wine and sit in the wineries with my umbrella chair and enjoy the view and just have fun. That's what I like doing. And this person had their wine and they were depressing. And I, and I'm sitting laughing and everything was down. And I was like, I can't hang with her, I said, I even told her, I said, do you want me to get you more wine? Because you need to cheer up. What's up with that? I was even telling my other friends, somebody needs to pour some rum in that drink, because I was like, what's up with that? Can't deal with it, let's see what else we got up here. I had cry for weeks. Yeah, Miss Brown. Well, I didn't cry for a week. I cried when I dropped him off, after I hugged him and I got in the car and I started driving home and then I cried and I was like, wow, he's big. He's big. My son is grown up. I mean, it's like, wow. But guys, okay, I have a Baby Lock Destiny 2 15K. I think us women always have buyer's remorse at the time, but I love it. Miss Martinez, hey, darling, she brought up a good point. Maybe that's what it is, buyer's remorse, because, even like when we bought our house, this was actually a house, we built and I got everything that I wanted and all that kind of stuff. And I felt like really, really good. And then after a week, I was like, oh, should we have gotten bigger? Or, you start to doubt yourself. But then I said, you know what? This house is fine. And me and my husband jokes because he says he's going to die in the basement. I'm probably going to die in the front porch, So I don't know, But yeah, I think we always do that to ourselves. We always have buyer's remorse. And I love both machines. I still love my 6 needle machine. I still love my single needle machine, my SC1900. You see it's still there with the thing up because I still use it. I use all my machines and I like them all, Just buying sewing machines the same as a fisherman buying bass boat or buying a fancy horse trailer. Barb, you're right. And what's so funny? I don't think men ever kind of regret anything they buy. Because I don't think so. Because I remember when Fred bought his Tesla. I mean, well, no, I remember I was the one that had to push that button because he kept saying, oh my God, that's a lot of money for a car. Oh my God, that's a lot of money for a car. But the thing is, he deserved it, because he always drove around the raggedy car. So this is the first time he was buying a brand new car and I wanted him to have it. And I just pushed that button and stuff. But I will tell you, I don't think he got buyer's remorse because he got in that sucker and he brought it home, after they developed it and stuff. I mean, I think you're right. Women are the ones that have the issues. Yeah. I think I got everything. If I missed anything, guys, let me know. And stuff. And it is late. Oh my God, it's 9:30 and stuff. This hour goes by fast. I guess because I talk a lot and stuff. But anyway. But I know I really did want to talk to you guys about the burnout and stuff. It's a real thing. Don't worry about it. We'll survive, okay? And I know there were a couple of things that people were asking on the comment and stuff like that. Because one of the things that I like to do on the Facebook group is, ask people for what you guys need me to talk about. Because I really, I want these Friday nights to be fun, but I also want it to be very beneficial for you guys. Okay, I want you guys to really, like, if you need help or you have questions, to ask and all that kind of stuff, just like on the Facebook group, if you're stuck on something, ask, because even if I can't answer it, I know that there are so many people on that group that somebody will help out and stuff like that. But I also do want to say thank you to all you guys. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. I really, really do. I look forward to these Friday evenings. I really do, because it's like my time to hang out with you guys, and I kind of have fun doing this. I do want to do more videos. It is kind of hard, like hold the camera and stuff like that, but I am going to try to do it because I do want to do more videos on making hats. I want to show you guys, like you guys were saying, hey, how do you do the multi thing? A lot of times, these are things that I know how to do them, but I just have to find the time to actually do the project and film it at the same time. And I kind of wish I had more time, but I am going to get better. Just hang in there, and I will pull out more videos and stuff. But if you guys do want me to do something, just let me know, and I'll put it on my notebook of things to do. Like someone did mention, I remember I said I was going to do the spreadsheet for the embroidery costs. I'll do that this weekend, and I'm going to post it on our Facebook page. It's going to be like a little sample where I'll just do a spreadsheet, and I'll do little columns, and maybe I'll do like little examples of how I did mine so that you guys can see how I try to calculate cost of the things that I do. So that way, when I try to create the prices, you can add stuff up. And I did say I was going to do that, and I didn't have the time to do it with moving my son to college and all that kind of stuff. And but now he's there. So now it's just me and the hubby alone in the house. It's quiet with Mello, of course, and Mello kind of fills the space. So, but I am going to say good night to you guys and stuff. Hope I answered everything, and hope you guys had fun tonight and stuff. And I guess I will see you next Friday. So please be safe out there too. I heard the numbers are going up, unfortunately. Want everybody to stay safe and healthy and stuff. And if you need anything, as always, please reach out. Okay. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you are not part of our Facebook group, please consider joining it. It's called Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures. It's on Facebook. Just join the group. It's a great bunch of folks where we just share information and stuff like that. So, and if you're new to embroidery, it's a great place to go so that you can learn. Okay. So hope you guys have a great night. Take care. Love you all, and be safe. So I will see you guys next Friday at 8 o'clock, and I will try to pull out some more videos. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.